With Pokemon Go, what kind of player are you? Are you the type of player that goes more for the IV, or do you go more for shiny, or are you just going for bulk to get those Stardust and everything and the candies?
I would say more Stardust now. I've always been a person that was more on maxing out my Pokemon, so I wanted buff, strong Pokemon. Um, I probably am the worst person in regards to shinies. I know I made a little clip where I had a good shiny Pokemon, a good shiny Alolan Vulpix, and I just transferred it, and so a lot of people dumb me down for that, and oh well, it's just to show that I don't care for shinies as much. But I would say that's a bit of a lie because the more I say I don't like shinies, I still want my shiny. And there's certain times where I want a shiny too. But my priority is garnering Stardust to make sure that I have resources to maxing out Pokemon or to have my Pokemon in PvP shape. Um, and I'm as close as 1500, buying their second charge move off Stardust, and then just having it ready. And collecting Stardust will make sure that I have resources in case if there's a change, there's a CP change, or there's anything that happens, I'm ready for it. So cool, and that then raids. Um, before lockdown, before 2020, before 2020, 2018, 2019, that was, or certainly before PvP, that was what I did. Raids. 30, 40, 30, 40. The most I've done before the new raid changes. I did 49 raids in a day. Uh, that was when the time clock was from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Right now, the time clock is, I think, from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. Um, from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Just going around the city, going anywhere, not just Pico, but anywhere. We would go to Anaheim, we would go, anywhere, right? and and just do as many races as we can. That's what I enjoy. I enjoy that long. And then when we were done, um, perhaps hit like a little restaurant here, there, relax, and just collect your Pokemon from there. And yeah,
Nice. I'm a more of a I want the shiny.
you want the shinies? Community days would be very good. Yeah, community days you can hoard a lot of shinies. Eventually, you because you have a lot of one Pokemon shinies, you want to transfer them. Now it's also where we have XL candies, which was introduced by Gen 8, Sword and Shield. Pokemon Gold is introduced now XL candies as well, where you could it wasn't introduced by Sword and Shield actually. It was introduced by Let's Go Pikachu, um with the Pikachu candy. You can have your Pokemon past the level 40 stage. So right now there's the level gap. Now it's up to level 50. There's been several trainers that can go to that have already at level 50, and your Pokemon can go from level 40 to level 50 by providing them XL candies, and with Pokemon's chances being boosted by the weather being at a higher level, not exactly CP, but a higher level, you have more opportunities for XL candies to get them in case you plan on doing that eventually. That would be great, and certainly with people getting a lot of shinies, eventually you want to transfer your shinies, but now you want to know which shinies you'd rather keep and which more often they want to keep it as a set. Oh, I have this shiny set. Um, and then which shinies, I can just transfer you. I know I'm gonna get, if not an XL candy, I'm transferring to Pokemon that has an opportunity to give me that. So I would say Community Day would be perhaps better for people who are looking for shinies. Like I mentioned, my fiance, she loves her shinies. That's what she wants to catch, and then when she's done, um, just relax, perhaps eat a little restaurant, something safe, and just relax and get ready for the week.
Nice. And another thing with the with getting ready for like the tournaments and stuff like that. What kind of things do you usually try to do to get ready for any of those types of tournaments and stuff leading up to it? I know you
Mm-hmm.
were talking about going online and getting to know your opponent, but you personally with your Pokemon themselves, is there anything that you kind of try to do just to get your Pokemon ready?
You wanna, how would I say this? You wanna understand the flow of your Pokemon. So I mentioned earlier in the interview that you count your fast attacks, or you count how many fast attacks it takes to get to a certain charge move. You want to be familiar with all the Pokemon that you have. You know how fast or how slow are they when they're using their charge? How much energy are they getting? So playing the numbers in there, so you familiarize what certain flow works in tangent. Having 6 Pokemon, because you choose 6 Pokemon. Certain Pokemon, even though they match well against the opponent's Pokemon, in sync, it can go out all over sorts. You want to find what works very well, what complements the other very well, um, and just what are you looking for? What are you looking to be very aggressive? Are you looking to stall out? Perhaps you have one tank and 2 fast Pokemon, and what's the job roles that you want those Pokemon to have? Um, a lot of times people don't think that way. They just figure, oh, I see a water and ground Pokemon. I just need a grass Pokemon pronto. What you could also do is just simply stall. So you can stall, switch to another Pokemon instead of switching to your grass Pokemon, and they bring you out, and eventually, perhaps you lose that matchup. You bring out your Pokemon, and when you beat their Pokemon, and that water ground comes back, you load it up. You can save that, switch to your grass, and you're just piling and piling. How does that work? Synergize. Um, so yeah, you want to learn how to have habits. What type of habit do you have? Not all habits are good. You know, there will always be trainers that just will always have a certain advantage on you. Perhaps it's just the way you play. They just will naturally have that advantage, and the same way works the other way around. You will naturally be able to beat. Like if I was really aggressive, I'll very likely beat a person um, that likes to stall out and doesn't get what they need. If they're trying to stall out and their Pokemon is not doing so good with someone that's already extremely aggressive, if he breaks through that, he's going to win. And the same could go the other way around. If they're able to get a very tanky Pokemon like perhaps a Registeel, and it just stalls out, or I take too long to try to take it down, by the time they're bringing their other Pokemon, my resources are now gone because the 2 fast Pokemon are going to be glassy. They can't sustain too many hits. By the time I bring out my tank, my resources are gone. Now I cannot hold, and he can just bring in a straight counter, and then that's it for me. So it's good to pick up on habits and how your Pokemon work with the habit that you're trying to bring. So I would say, like, if there was someone that was trying to learn how to PvP, uh, don't make it too difficult for them. Just see the Pokemon that are out there. What Pokemon do you feel? Oh, this Pokemon can work best with this, and have fun with it. Don't worry about winning. If you end up winning, then more power to you. But that's not really the goal. The goal is to really just have a good score and learn the synergies of Pokemon. After a while, you start learning this Pokemon synergizes well with this. There's the Bastiodon and 2 Razor Leafers, where Bastiodon is this thick tank, right, that can take down flying Pokemon, and then your Razor Leafers, if above else, Razor Leaf does a lot of damage. Slow, but just high damage, high damage, high damage. Um, and then the resources stay on Bastiodon, so it's very good. They're very good synergies that you can find out.
I know with Pokemon Go, like it's not just about what Pokemon you have, but also about the moves that they have, correct? Because it's just
Correct.
like they have different move sets and stuff. Is there a way to like change those move sets, or is it
hmm
just pretty much set in stone when you catch them?
So the move stats, you can change them at any time. They have TMs for that. They have a fast TM and a charge TM. You can change those moves. They also introduced Shadow Pokemon, which is Pokemon that you capture after defeating a Rocket Grunt, and after there will be Rocket events where you'll have an opportunity to take out their Rocket move, which will be Frustration, and change it to something else. But for the most part, you can change the move when you catch them, or however you want, by stockpiling charge TMs and fast TMs. You can get those off raids. You can get those off the Great Battle League or the Go Battle League, depending. And even sending gifts to friends, you can perhaps get some stuff. Um, the IVs cannot change. IVs are dead set. As soon as you catch them, that's the IVs. They might change if you trade. Depending if you trade, it might go down or it might go up, depending on the trade that you do. So that's how it can change. But you can't change naturally an IB of a Pokemon that you catch.
What kind of effects can you try to get by trading? Like I know if I remember correctly, there was some different types of effects that would happen with trading.
Right. So trading, more often what happens is the Pokemon is of a lower CP and a lower IV. For PvP, that's golden. We will want a lower IV or perhaps a lower CP, so perhaps they fit the ratio. As I mentioned, Silver League is mostly 1500 and low, so the lower you can get the Pokemon like that, the better for you. And other people they can trigger what's called a lucky trade. So this lucky trade is the Pokemon the Pokemon might, and I say might because there's instances that it might actually be a lower CP, but for the most part it'll be a higher CP, and they're half the Stardust cost. So this means instead of spending 2,000 to boost their stat by one level, it'll cost you 1,000, and so on and so forth. So it plays very well. They're cheaper. They're cheaper to use, um, and I think that's it. It can play that. Those are the two things that it can go. You can go either go high or go low. If you want to trigger for a stronger Pokemon, perhaps you want to look for a lucky trade. Lucky trade can happen spontaneously. It can also happen when you reach best friends with another trainer, and it you do a raid, you send a gift, you do a trade, uh, and then look, it worked. You got a what do you got? You got a lucky friend. When you have a lucky friend, you're a guaranteed lucky trade.
Oh,
Mhm.
so you have that with your fiance, I take it.
Uh, we did. We currently already made a trade. We made a trade already, so we're not lucky friends at this moment. I have the lucky friends, however. You cap out at 200 friends. Because of PvP. I've capped out 200 friends too many times, and I would drop out 50, and I'll try to drop it to 50 friends, and then start at 150 going up, only to eventually. But that's okay because that's just the way things are. Um, certain friends, I reached them to best friends, and then after a bit of raiding with them or PvPing with them or whatever have you, I triggered lucky friends. And then after lucky friends, we start organizing, saying, okay, let's meet up at this time. Or if we have the event that we have where there's a 40-kilometer distance that you can trade from 40 kilometers away. Um, you can go on and trade, and then just say, hey, I want this. It's going to cost me this much dust. And what do you have that I would like? And then so on and so forth. Um, and so that's what it can do.
Nice. So with a lot of these events and stuff, saying so like the Team Rocket event, how does that correlate into a lot of the PvP stuff? Like, are those Pokemon a little bit more stronger? Are they a little bit more weaker? Is it something you really want to go after, or is it more of like the community days that you want to really work on for that?
They're 20% stronger shadow Pokemon. They're also 20% weaker. So this means that their moves have a 20% bonus attack. So a lot of times we wanna go for shadow Pokemon. There's several tournaments that they don't allow it off base. They don't allow shadow Pokemon, so you understand that you can't use it. But those that do, more often than not, we want to do it. The risk reward of it also is that it takes a lot. Not many hits to take them down, so it's a lot easier to take them down. They're more glass cannon, and so you think about it too. If you want a Pokemon that's going to be durable or tanky, and you have a Shadow, then it's really useless to you. But if you have a Pokemon that's high damage, it's just a glass ceiling, and you're just looking to inflict as much damage as possible before it goes down, Shadow Pokemon are really, really, really great to have. The flip side of it is I mentioned about lucky Pokemon being a little cheaper to raise, right, in regard to the Stardust. So Shadow Pokemon, it takes more Stardust to evolve. It takes no, yeah, it takes more Stardust. No, I meant to say it takes more candy to evolve. It also takes more Stardust to purchase a second move to grow them. Um, it it's quite tedious. It's a lot more expensive than a regular Pokemon. Um, but they're very good. Right now we have mostly certain shadow legendaries that you do not want to purify, right? Like a Shadow Mewtwo, for example. Garner as many garner as many raids as you can. The raids could turn into having a lot of Mewtwo's where you start transferring them and you give them Excel Candy, and you want to have your Mewtwo all the way to level 50. And if you have a really good IV, Shadow Mewtwo, I'm pretty sure you perhaps have one of the strongest Pokemon in the game. Um, and if you can ever get it to level 50, I don't think we currently have a trainer that has that, but I'm sure if they had, that's perhaps the greatest thing to get out.
Nice. And well, what happens after you if you purify them?
When you purify, well, they're a little cheaper. They're not they're purified Pokemon, so instead of frustration, now they know the move return. Um, but there's not much difference. Yeah, they're cheaper to evolve and they're cheaper to raise. Um, but that's just really what it is. It just means that they're purified. They don't have the shadow bonus anymore, so they don't have the 20% attack or the 20% um, defense debuff. They're basically just regular Pokemon. It's just that they have the move return. Um, return for a regular part, it's whatever. For PvP, certain Pokemon return is extremely good to use as bait, but or as a closer even too. But it's just that.
Nice. I had no idea. So with the community days and stuff like that, is it does it really help in bringing up your Pokemon for those types of battles, PvP battles and stuff like that? Like, is there anything you can gear towards it when it comes to those community days?
For community days, I think only with starter Pokemon you can do that. So what I mean is, starter Pokemon, they usually are given a bonus, an exclusive move. Your Blast Burn, your Hydro Cannons, and your Frenzy Plant. So Bulbasaur, it'll be your Bulbasaur, your Chikorita, and moving forward from that. Um, they're given those. So for those matters, because they're giving those moves for PvP, you wanna go for those better. Using Frenzy Plant on Venusaur would be much better than using an Ivysaur and just having Power Whip as an exclusive move. So that's what we would target most for community days. And then aside from starters, there are several Pokemon that do get different moves that normally they wouldn't get, that would be very valuable that on PvP. For raids, it doesn't really make a difference because no matter what you're using on a raid, more often than not, you're doing it with friends, and the combined efforts of it really takes down the Pokemon. PvP, it's all about what moves you have and how long or how fast or just what you decide to do with that. So it's very mathematical.
I know with the raids, like after you finish a raid, you have a chance of catching the Pokemon. And you have the little white balls. How is that figured out, and how many you get of those?
The level of friend that you have, and then how many were there. So, uh, well, and to add is also the type of what type of what team were they in. So if you have, let's say, 6 Mystic and 1 Valor, and you're only friends with 1 Mystic player, you're not gonna get as many Premier Balls as someone that was Mystic, and let's say those 5 of those 6 Mystic were your friends, and the Valor wasn't. You're gonna get a lot more Premier Balls because your guys' had more Mystics. And also, what type of gym was it? Was it a Mystic gym? Was it a Valor gym? Was it an Instinct gym? So those play an effect how many. More often than not, when you're playing with a lot of friends, you're gonna get more than 10, and more than 10. Sometimes they'll be on the same team. That piles on. Then what? Then how big is the meter of friends that you have? Um, are you ultra friends? Are you great friends? Good friends? Best friends? Um, and then that's it.
Nice, nice. Um, are there any like real restrictions when it comes to the Pokemon that you can use in tournaments and PvP battles? Like, can you use legendaries and stuff like that, or is it just down to just the regular Pokemon?
Uh, for Silph arenas, the restrictions are there. They'll tell you what you can't use, what's banned, um, what type of Pokemon can only be used, or legendaries involved, or shadow Pokemon involved. It'll be formatted one way. perhaps afterwards I can show you like an example of a cell format and then how they announce it for us to get ready for it, and then it'll show you just how the graph works for Go Battle League. For Go Battle League, for a person that can play PvP against anybody, because Niantic has this feature as well. Usually there's no settings in Great League, Ultra League, or Master League. Is just depending on the CP ratio, but you can use any Pokemon, Shadow Pokemon, Legendary Pokemon. In Premier, they made Premier now for Ultra League and Master League. You're not allowed to use Legendary Pokemon, but it really doesn't make much of a difference because it just means that you're not using Legendaries, but you're still using perhaps your either Ultra Fast Pokemon or your Uber or your pseudo Legendaries like T-Tar, Dragonite, and whatever have you.
Gotcha.
There's always something new. We learned that over time. I understand Wizards United did an attempt. I wouldn't say their game's such a big failure. They they failed their expectations. Wizards Unite was the Harry Potter version of Pokemon Go. And then I also heard, I guess there were talks about Star Wars being put in eventually, or an attempt to this. There's always stuff going on with Pokemon Go. It's just the dynamic of the game and what the game really is about, which is about catching Pokemon or just being involved with Pokemon. So it's very easy how this game hasn't stopped. I feel that there was perhaps only one time where you can feel the game kind of down. That was, I think, in the beginning of 2017, after the whole craze about um, catching Pokemon, and you know, it's been nonstop since then. I think they found a niche with people who do raids. They found a niche with people who like to collect their shinies, and they found a niche with people who like to PvP. So there's different audiences now that they can devote themselves into this game. They like to collect their Stardust, um, spotlight hours, raid hours. They try to accommodate to all those type of players. So there's always something there to do. And I mean, just tomorrow, there's going to be a period where you can have an opportunity to catch the 3 legendary birds for a 3-hour period, and they'll give you around 5, I think 5 to, I'm not sure if it's over 5 up to 9, but they'll give you 5 free raid passes for those people that go in and attempt to do it. And you can do it from home, having your remote raid passes, and just simply have a person invite you, or if you spot someone, you can go into the raid, or make sure you're okay with with your friends to be ready and available. You can invite up to 5 friends, do that raid. Um, so there's always stuff in the community day, like I mentioned. Next Saturday, that will be next Saturday from 11 to 5. You can do that anywhere too. You don't have to go to a location. You can just pop an incense, and and just catch as many as you can. Uh, we we do like to go out. We keep it safe to make sure that we're not also just putting ourselves in danger for other people in danger. But we like to go out. We'll be heading to our town Whittier to do our raid. They're pretty good spawns over there, and then the area is very, very nice, very calm, um, very calm. And I always say it's a great area. Last week we just went to Laguna Beach for the Kanto event, and Laguna Beach was just amazing, very, very great. Probably if I were to give a con, it's just if they had like a parking garage or something that we can leave the car all day. Maybe I don't know it, right? Maybe because I just didn't know the city. Um, but the city was amazing, and it's filled,
Always.
and it was great, and there was plenty of people playing for sure. There was plenty of people playing, big area, and oh my goodness. So there's always something for everyone. Everyone that the type of player that you are, there'll be something there. Niantic has now taken the time to really attempt to address. Now there's always going to be stuff that's faulty or stuff that you don't like, but everything's in the works. It's still, that's why it's still a business, right? It's always going to run up, and it's going to do what it can to attain its customers. I feel for my part it's done very good, um, and the reason I felt that coming into this and to explain Naota5k and I said Pokemon Go was going to be a big topic, because this is the current me. I'm currently playing this game. This game is my hobby to go out. Aside from
Okay.
chess, when I'm here, Pokemon Go is what I look forward to when I get out. Once I'm out of work, once I'm out of personal responsibilities to make sure everything's intact, and I have a home and to provide for my fiance. Pokemon Go is the game that I play, and it's amazing. That's something that I still see myself playing probably well into next year. I know there's some times where I feel it's a little down, but there you just gotta wait sometimes. Once a little feature comes in and it sparks you right back up.
Thank you, gamers, for joining us for this conversation. If you enjoyed this content, please like and subscribe so you can see more of this interview and others like it. Have a good one, you guys.